Tom.
John, can you walk us through what happened at Bagram? The Afghan military is saying the U.S. left in the dead of night, didn't inform them. Looters broke in, grabbed a lot of stuff. And there's also reports that left behind were hundreds of armored and unarmored vehicles.
Yeah, so I mean, I've seen those press reports, Tom. What I can tell you is that there was coordination with Afghan leaders, both in the government as well as in the Afghan security forces, about the eventual turnover of Bagram Air Base. As you know, it was the 7th and the final base that we turned over to the Afghan National Security Forces. You don't do that in a vacuum, and this wasn't done in a vacuum. I can't speak for the level of information that went down the Afghan chain of command, but I can tell you that Afghan leaders, civilian and military, were appropriately coordinated with and briefed about the turnover of Bagram Air Base. In fact, some of that briefing included a walkthrough of facilities on the base with senior Afghan leaders.
Was that with Civilian Aviation Authority people?
I beg your pardon?
Was that with the Civilian Aviation Authority people?
I don't know the details of that. I do know that there was a walkthrough of the facilities with senior Afghan leaders.
Did you say when that was done?
Just let me finish. The specific conversation and coordination about the turnover of Bagram, the final conversations occurred about 48 hours prior. Obviously, for operational security reasons, we didn't go into the exact hour at which all U.S. forces would leave Bagram. Again, as I said from the outset, we have had to operate under the assumption that this drawdown could be contested at any time. And so we're very careful about what we say and how much detail we provide out there. But there was coordination. Now, as to exactly who, I'd refer you to General Miller's staff for the more details on that. But there was coordination done at higher levels in the government and the Afghan forces. It was done in plenty of time. And it's not like the closure or the turnover of Bagram was at all in dispute throughout this drawdown process. Everybody knew that was happening, and there was general understanding about roughly when. Again, as we got closer, more detail was provided to Afghan leaders.
And as far as what was left behind, were there armored vehicles? There have been reports that hundreds of armored and unarmored vehicles left behind at Bagram.
There were some vehicles obviously left behind and some turned over to Afghan officials. Again, I'd refer you to Resolute Support and General Miller's staff for more detail on exactly how many and in what condition they were. But yes, there were some vehicles. And that's, again, that's not uncommon with some of the other turnovers of other facilities that we've had. Okay? Tara.
Thanks, John. Another on Bagram. Each of the statements that has been released by the Defense Department has said that all of the equipment being brought out were non-defense articles. After the reports of the vehicles being left at Bagram, are we leaving a bunch of military equipment behind for the Afghan army? And the Defense Department today also said that 90% of the drawdown or withdrawal is complete. At that point, is basically everything that's left just at Kabul now?
I wouldn't, let me check on that one. I think I'd try to go to CENTCOM on your last question before I try to speculate. But I think in terms of the equipment left behind, no weapons are being left behind. Throughout the drawdown, a few hundred small arms and ammunition were transferred to the ANDSF. And again, I think CENTCOM can provide you a little bit more detail on that. Okay.
What about the vehicles?
Again, I don't have a full breakdown of the vehicles. Some vehicles were left for use by the Afghans. Some were destroyed because they were no longer usable. And some were properly transferred out of the country. Some brought home, some transferred to other places in the region. But I don't have a breakdown of every vehicle. I just don't have that level of detail.
This weekend, Deir ez-Zor, did it come under attack or not come under attack?
I think we put something out over the weekend that there was no attack on Deir ez-Zor. No, that was disinformation of some sort, but there was no attack.